Welcome to Accelerated Health Bites. I'm SaraBanta, and if you like what you hear today, please hit the subscribe button and share with those who may need my help. I'm only one person, but with your help, we as a team can help so many others to accelerate their bodies, minds, and spirits and reach their optimal state of health. Today, I want to talk about the myth around doing keto and your thyroid. So, a lot of people think that if they have Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, that they can't do a low carb diet. It seems like almost everyone is claiming to have hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's disease. And statistically, it's true. 96% of the population is deficient in iodine, which is the number one predictor of thyroid disease. And on top of that, thyroid autoimmune disease is connected to gut health with the standard American diet and all the environmental toxins we're exposed to. Our guts are constantly under threat. And those factors quickly lead to leaky gut, which is subsequently, it affects our thyroid. So when you go to the doctor, they test your TSH. What does that tell you? What is TSH? When diagnosing those thyroid issues, they test the TSH, maybe the T4, and that's not going to give you that complete picture. Thyroid health is so much more intricate than just the two numbers. Thyroid stimulating hormone is what TSH is, and it's a pituitary hormone, not even a thyroid hormone. This is the gold standard, and it is essentially telling you how well your pituitary is signaling to your thyroid. And this is the gold standard of all thyroid blood work. But patients often report that they're still sympathetic or symptomatic, feeling sluggish with weight loss stalls, and even if their thyroid stimulating hormone is in normal range. The TSH signals to the thyroid to release T4. All TSH is, it's telling you how well that pituitary hormone is communicating with your thyroid. Total T4 can look normal, but isn't able to be utilized by the thyroid either. And as T4 needs to be activated, it is needing to be activated and converted into T3, which is the thyroid hormone that produces energy and indicates a healthy metabolism and thyroid. And it goes way beyond this even. T4 and T3 refer to 4 and 3 molecules of iodine, and the T refers to tyrosine, which is an amino acid. And guess where that's found? Meat, fish, and eggs. Imagine that. So remember that, and remember the need for iodine. This is why iodine is so essential for proper thyroid function, and it's lacking in our modern day food supply. The conversion of T4 to T3 occurs in the liver, the gut, and the kidneys. And if the gut and the liver can't convert T4 to T3, then the thyroid isn't functioning optimally, and energy and fat burning will suffer. The hypothalamus is the master control center for all hormones, including insulin, thyroid stimulating hormone, leptin, ghrelin, and sex hormones. So what are the signs of thyroid disease? Now, we have been told, and I just mentioned, that even if your levels are normal on a thyroid panel from the doctor, that doesn't tell the whole story. So what you can look out for are these signs to know if your thyroid is not functioning. Low energy, hair loss, eyebrows thinning on the outer ends of your eyebrows, an irregular menstrual cycle, anxiety, depression, weight gain, constipation, dry skin, headaches, brittle and rigid nails, fluid retention, being cold all the time, puffy face and swollen eyelids, poor circulation, thickening of the elbow skin, poor concentration and memory, a decreased libido, and numbness. So, what is thyroiditis? Well, thyroid antibodies cause an autoimmune reaction to the thyroid called thyroiditis. It's like having a gas or a hole in your gas tank. This will cause Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, where the thyroid is either underfunctioning or overfunctioning. And factors that can cause this are toxins, including fluoride, lithium, mercury, the BPA, Teflon, PCBs, radiation, which is so much more than what our ancestors ever were exposed to with all our smartphones, our Zoom calls, our smart meters, everything that's going on, and celiac disease. This is why detoxification from the environmental toxins and dietary toxins is imperative for optimal thyroid and metabolism function. So, how do your thyroid medications work? And I get the question all the time, Sara, how do I take the thyroid supplements you're recommending or the acceleradine iodine if I'm taking my Synthroid or other thyroid medications? Well, let's look at how they're working. These thyroid medications are strictly T4 only medications. By taking a T4 based medication, you're telling your body you have a problem, but it isn't trying to fix it, and your body is becoming more dependent on the medication. About 90% of all thyroid dysfunction is autoimmune. And what happens to someone on thyroid medication is that you'll progressively need more over time as the antibodies are ruining your thyroid health, and your thyroid will eventually shut down. Both hyper and hypothyroidism are autoimmune diseases, and they're beating up your thyroid. How does your liver affect your thyroid and metabolism? I include a liver flush in my most comprehensive Ascent diet cleanse for this reason. And when people go through this and they get all the liver and gallstones out of their body, they always report that their thyroid health goes up, their metabolism increases, their fat burning is much easier, and it's all connected. So if your liver is compromised or your gut isn't healthy, then T4 won't be converted to T3. And free T3 is what binds to the nucleus of the cell, and it's what is necessary to produce that ATP, which is the true energy production for all of your cells. On the contrary, reverse T3 is an inflammatory sympathetic marker signaling if your body is responding well to stressors or not. Reverse T3 is a reservoir for a stressful situation, and it's a primitive response. It was something great for when our ancestors were being chased by a tiger, but when we're under chronic stress, it's not doing us any good now. It looks like free T3, and in a stressful situation, your thyroid can slow down and utilize that reverse T3 for energy. It can bind with the receptors that T3 would bind with normally, but it doesn't give you the energy you get from T3. And in fact, it competes with T3. If there becomes an imbalance of free T3 and reversed T3, you will start having problems as they do compete with each other. So those with hypothyroidism for a long time will depend on that reverse T3 and cortisol, which is your stress hormone, to get you out of bed. And as a result, your adrenals become tapped out, blood sugar can rise from that excess cortisol, and there's a cascade of negative hormonal reactions leading to adrenal burnout and the manifestation of the typical adrenal body type. And I talk about the adrenal body type and all the signs at the website acceleratedhealthproducts.com, so you can check that out. So, can you do keto when you have a thyroid disease? Well, during ketosis, you may see a decrease in free T3, but is that a bad thing? No. You are changing your energy substrates and your whole fuel system. As your diet consists of less carbohydrates and your metabolism is changed, you need less T3 because more of that free T3 is utilized to process the carbs on the typical higher carb diet and the excess weight. So as a reduction of T3 indicates that your thyroid is functioning more efficiently when you're in ketosis. So this is all a good thing. When you make more T3 to deal with the excess carbohydrates, that's the reason for a higher level of T3. And furthermore, the carbohydrates cause that cellular inflammation, which inhibits T3's ability to enter the cells. And on the contrary, ketones, when you're burning fat, increases that cellular permeability, allowing nutrients to enter and toxins to come out of the cells easier. So What are we getting as far as our blood tests and the correct levels? Well, this is really frustrating because any Western medical blood test, the ranges that they use are way too broad, and the functional medicine ranges are too strict. So, if you're losing weight or in ketosis, the blood test might even show that your numbers are too low, but they really are in a healthier range. So you really need to be your own doctor and assess how you're feeling and what your energy levels are. I found this to be true for me. My levels were not right, but I felt great, and vice versa. So with the ketosis and with my natural supplements, I found a range that I felt great at. And my blood test wasn't saying the same thing, but I'm not going with that. When your thyroid is off, it also affects your gut microbiome, your adrenals, and your sex hormones. And the adrenals will produce that excess cortisol to make up for the lack of energy produced by the thyroid. And that's why so many people who suffer from thyroid disease are also suffering from adrenal fatigue. How does keto help your thyroid function? Well, keto or a low carb diet reduces the inflammation and heals the gut by rebalancing the gut microbiome. And it also starts to help detox the liver and reduce the blood sugar. If you're consuming sugar or carbohydrates, you're putting excessive burden on the liver, the gut, and the kidneys. And this will compromise the conversion of the inactive to the active thyroid hormones, T4 to T3. Furthermore, the nutrients that are essential for T4 production include zinc, copper, vitamin A, B2, B3, B6, and vitamin C. And guess where they're all found? Red meat, eggs, and fish, which are all ketogenic foods. This is why many vegans suffer from thyroid disease, insulin resistance, and weight gain. When you're insulin resistant, the needed enzymes to produce free T3 become inactive, and instead you produce that reverse T3. Likewise, when you follow a ketogenic diet or a low carb diet and become insulin sensitive, you produce that proper active thyroid hormone T3. Factors that suppress that enzyme are selenium deficiency, high carb intake, stress and high cortisol, heavy metals, inadequate protein intake, chronic illness, inflammation, kidney or liver dysfunction, iodine deficiency, and iron deficiency. And medications that affect the conversion from T4 to T3 are the beta blockers, steroids, birth control, estrogen excess, lithium, chemo. And that's why a lot of these medications, people will report weight gain once they start these medications. And dietary issues that could be suppressing your conversion of T4 to T3 are too many cruciferous vegetables, which could be ketogenic. The broccolis and cauliflowers, or too little protein or too little fat, or excessive alcohol, walnuts, or soy. Those all could affect your thyroid as well. Ketones increase ATP production in the mitochondria in the cells, which is true cellular energy. That is why it actually is very good for your thyroid health. The ketogenic diet is helping your thyroid, your liver, your kidneys, and your brain detox, including those heavy metals like mercury, chlorine, fluoride, bromine, while the antibodies are at that lower level. And this detoxification process is easier during a fasting period when there's less demand on the thyroid. And so it's super easy to fast when you're in ketosis, and it helps reset that leptin resistance, the thyroid resistance, and insulin resistance. And when you're coming off medication, your body's resetting its cellular sensitivity to thyroid hormones as well. So they show that it's on day 3 of a fast that your thyroid function shifts and becomes reset. It can also improve your immune system and your gut health and reduce those antibodies. So can staying in ketosis too long hurt your thyroid? Well, ketosis is a hormetic stress, which is a good kind of stress, but the hypothalamus has a parasympathetic and a sympathetic state. And when you're in keto too long and you're in that sympathetic state chronically, then you'll be in a survival state and your body will start using that reverse T3. Insulin is needed to convert T4 to T3. So when you are chronically low in insulin, you can't convert that T4 to T3. You truly need to listen to your own body, and that will let you know when to pop out and maybe have a few more carbs. That means eating more sweet potatoes and squashes, not ice cream and pizza. So you just want to eat the good, healthy carbs and ones that are not going to spike your blood sugar too much, but give you a little more of an insulin response. So how do we heal our thyroid and our metabolism naturally? Number one, hands down, you need Acceleradine iodine. This is the only iodine supplement that has 100% absorption, where most iodine supplements only have 10 to 20, and they usually include some toxic ingredients that the body has to detox from, which is counterintuitive. Acceleradine speeds up the metabolism, provides non-toxic iodine for the production of T4 and T3, and kicks out the toxins from the thyroid and the liver that hinder thyroid function. This is essential for those with Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, and hyperthyroidism. Even more, Acceleradine is charged with scalar frequencies to further detox the body of radiation and heavy metals. No other iodine supplement does this, and it increases ATP production. Next is Conchinara Google. This is a supplement that not only helps improve thyroid function, but it improves lymphatic drainage, supports detoxification and rejuvenation, and increases proper circulation of the blood. Next would be a supplement called Thyroid GF. And this is what I say is kind of the natural form of your thyroid medication. This formula helps build and balance the thyroid gland and supports the thyroid gland ability as a master controller gland and produce normal, healthy metabolism. It's useful for hypo and hyper, and it helps with all major metabolic actions of the endocrine system. Number 4, accelerated keto. This flips you into fat burning and ketosis within 30 minutes, tapping into your own body's fat stores for fuel. It dramatically increases ATP production by 36 times what you get on a standard American diet. And that is where the true cellular energy is. As a result, thyroid function becomes much more efficient and improves to healthier levels. Keto also increases testosterone, growth hormone, glucagon, melatonin, and these all increase the proper conversion from T4 to T3. Number 5 is my comprehensive Ascent diet cleanse. This will include the accelerated keto and the iodine, the Acceleradine, but this whole cleanse puts you into ketosis, aids in fasting, makes it super easy to fast and intermittent fast, and it's appetite suppressant, but it feeds your thyroid. The proper iodine detoxifies the body and the liver, flushes out liver stones, rebuilds the gut, and boosts thyroid health significantly, all within 30 days. I highly recommend it. Of course, it comes with free group coaching from me and the support of the group. It's amazing. Next is the X39 LifeWave patch. These are phenomenal. This is phototherapy with these patches that you just put on your skin for 12 hours. They've been shown to increase energy, send stem cells to the needed areas of the body, increase metabolism, enhance sports performance, reduce inflammation, and reverse age-related symptoms. It works on over 4,000 genes in your body and returns them to a younger state. I don't know who would not want this. And like that, the glutathione patches will decrease the occurrence of thyroid antibodies in addition to acting as the master antioxidant through the body and detoxifying the liver, where T4 converts to T3. Something called the Genius Insight Biofeedback app that you can have on your smartphone. And I scan my body every day with it. And then I treat it with all the imbalances. I put them back in balance by listening to tones or sounds. This app is just on your smart device. It targets and runs programs that can improve the thyroid function, detox the liver, the thyroid, pituitary, and all the organs related to thyroid health. You can even target your T3, T4, reverse T3, and TSH. Next, sleep. My go-to tool outside of the Ascent diet cleanse, which will improve your sleep on its own, are the silent night sleep patches that you can wear. Without enough sleep, your thyroid will slow and your body can't detox properly during sleep. These patches naturally enhance the quality and length of sleep without causing the grogginess. And it's during sleep where your body detoxes, rejuvenates, and rebuilds the whole endocrine system, including the thyroid. I also recommend a supplement called Olaloa. It's a multivitamin electrolyte drink that includes potassium, selenium, iron, zinc, magnesium, and vitamins that also increase the conversion of T4 to T3. You also, as we mentioned, want to fast and fast with the help with accelerated keto. This is going to suppress your appetite, allow you to burn your own fat stores for fuel, and it reduces the inflammation throughout the body and increases metabolism while limiting the calories and the eating throughout the day. Next, I recommend HIIT training, high intensity interval training. This boosts growth hormone, testosterone, and metabolism, while chronic cardio can actually slow down your metabolism and accelerate aging. So try to incorporate this 2 to 3 times a week. And lastly, increase your protein intake. You want to eat at least 1-to-1 ratio of protein to fat and keep your carbohydrates between 20 and 50 grams a day to stabilize the blood sugar, increase the thyroid health, and incorporate all the other tools to really see a difference. And if you have any questions about your thyroid health or what protocol is needed to get you back on track, you can comment below or email me through the website acceleratedhealthproducts.com. I'm happy to put together a personalized protocol just for you. Thanks for joining me today, and remember to hit the subscribe button and share with others to be a part of this changing world. Be sure to listen to my interviews on Accelerated Health Radio and TV, where my guests share their cutting edge modalities to optimize health and accelerate their bodies, minds, and spirits. See you in the next episode of Accelerated Health Bites.